right, as always, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Wa'awakakodash, double honors to the elders and the apostles, great millstone, peace and blessings to the hopeful elect throughout the four corners of this whole entire earth, no matter where, whom they may be, or what they may look like, pushing out this purified truth to the rest of the church who believe as well, including you women, to the dead in Yahweh Shai also, and the water to Yahweh Shai, because without him enduring and going to that cross for the nation of Israel, none of this would even be possible. So I'm going to start this off in the book of Lamentations, chapter 4 and verse 3. Even the sea monsters draw out the breast. They give suck to their young ones. The daughter of my people is become cruel like the ostriches in the wilderness. So when you look at our women, they're being compared unto ostriches. Now when you look at ostriches actually live a what Esau deems polygamous. So the male ostrich, he'll have multiple female ostriches, but within those females, he'll have his favorite female, and usually his favorite female, that would also be the female that would try to dominate the other women. There's even occasions where the favorite ostrich, hence, to put it to where we can understand, since our women are compared unto ostriches, that favorite wife, she'll chase off the rest of the women. And she'll even sacrifice the children that come out of the other females. And when you look at an ostrich in the wilderness, they have a lot of discernment. They're always looking around, seeing what's going on, and the first second that they deem that there's a threat, what do? They'll end up chasing that prey off. Like a woman with the attitude, just flips. So our women, they're compared unto ostriches, man. But it's spiritual because, like I said, ostriches, they're polygamous creatures. So the male ostrich will have more than one female, just as how the Lord set it up with our nation. Because that's how the Lord wants it. All right? Read this again. Even the sea monsters draw out the breast. They give suck to their young ones. But see, our women, they're so messed up. They're so far gone now. Instead of trying to breastfeed their children, what do? They give them all these different formulas, Similac or whatnot. When even Esau's science, his study shows that a woman's breast milk is the best way to feed a baby. But in this world, they'll try to change it up. They try to have it to where your child looks like he's a damn special ed child by the time he's 5 or 6, because he wasn't being fed the breast, man. Okay? Even the sea monsters draw out the breast. So even sea creatures have more mercy towards their young than our own women. Okay? They give suck to their young ones. The daughter of my people is become cruel like the ostriches in the wilderness. So our women have become fierce, just like how an ostrich could be. Okay, if you run up on an ostrich, if that thing feels threatened, they're going to start chasing you, man. They're going to deem you to be the enemy. But the difference between, although the Lord is comparing our women to the ostrich, one thing about the ostrich that's in order more than our women, they're polygamous. They share their male. The male will have 2, 3, or 4 different female ostriches, and they'll raise up that family between themselves. Okay? But our women today, they won't share you today, man. They don't deem you good enough. They don't deem you royal enough. Okay? You even have men who are successful and have money. They're still catching hell when one woman finds out about the other one. You want to get on Deuteronomy 28 and 46?
What is it again?
Deuteronomy 28.
46?
Yeah.
This is the book of Deuteronomy.
Jump to 54, bro. I'm sorry.
28 and 54?
Yeah.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave.
And that goes into single-parent households. And then when the woman's left raising that child alone, she'll become bitter towards the child, saying how the child looks like the dad. I can't stand you. Your hair is nappy. You got snot running down your nose. She don't even try to wipe your nose off. She'll just look at you and shake her head like pathetic little nigga. You have women who actually do that. They psychologically damage their male child more so than the female child mentally. Okay? But that goes back to the curses. And a lot of times when a female, when she's alone, it's not always the man's fault. She'll chase the man out the house. And then he'll get to the point where he never really had a relationship with his child, so he doesn't even care about his child. It's not that he doesn't care, but he doesn't have that bond with his child to care as much as he would want to, because the woman would not let him. She was always that barrier that kept him from being around his young. But again, that's the curses. So when there's no father in the household, the child could be raised to be emotional, and they don't have any sense of being patient with their decision making. They want to be irrational. And now, you know, they want to fight or even shoot somebody. And then after shooting them and killing them, go to their grave, piss on their grave, write whatever gang or whatever that they come from on their grave, just totally disrespectful. And this actually just happened with a situation in New York. A rival gang was killed. So the guy from the other gang pretty much desecrated his tombstone, writing his gang sign all over, because Jacob is messed up, man. Being under the woman, being raised under the woman has made you highly emotional. And a man who's highly emotional, that is a lot of aggression. That's a lot of wrath, and people can die. It's not like a little child when they throw a temper tantrum. That temper tantrum, when you grow up, somebody ends up getting killed. Somebody ends up getting hurt. It becomes a lot more serious. So when you don't have any control of your emotion being under your mother, okay, you can pretty much blame that on ourselves for going against the Lord. That's a part of the curses. Go ahead, huh?
So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate.
You ever seen a nigga just mug you for no reason? Here it is, he's looking at you like he know you, like he want to hit you with a left hook. And it makes you not even want to speak to him. It makes you not even want to approach him and say hi or nothing.
True.
You know,
multiple times we've seen that.
Yeah, and you might have the spirit, you know, you want to be friendly, you want to be, you know, vocal and say, hey, how you doing? Have a nice day. But you'll just get that look like, nigga, you better not come and talk to me. That's the hate and animosity between our people that the Lord had put there because of the curses, man. But those curses don't apply to the elect in the sense of we're not looking at our brothers with that hate and animosity.
Yep.
Now, you might be in this truth, and you might have a problem with your baby mom or the woman you're currently with. You're still going to be under the curses, but we're not under certain curses that our people are on, okay? And that being one of them. Go ahead.
So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave.
Man, that means he's saying, to hell with my friends, to hell with my wife, to hell with my kids. I'm worried about me. Even the scriptures say that in these last days, that man will be lovers of themselves. To live a lifestyle where it's just like to hell with everything, you pretty much just think about yourself, man. You're not even concerned about nobody else. But that goes back to the curses. Okay, skip down to 56.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her feet upon the ground of delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil toward her husband.
So our women were so feminine, they wouldn't even have to worry about setting their feet on the ground. They'd be carried as the princesses that they're supposed to be, because they were so delicate. They wouldn't even want to get the bottom of their feet dirty, man. Now you got women walking around barefooted, ready to square up with you, man. What you say, nigga? You looking at her, she ain't got no shoes on her feet. Her soles is all black. Okay, just like the soul within her body is black. Okay, these women have no shame. But back then, women were so delicate, man, you might have your servants carry your wife because you didn't want her to have to walk because she was just so beautiful and delicate. Now she aggressive, man. Okay, now she's a fierce demon. Go ahead.
The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil toward her husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter.
Her husband be on the couch playing John Madden. She in the background staring at the back of this nigga's head, thinking about hitting him in the back of the head with a damn frying pan because she tired of looking at him. She just angry. She just mad. She's bitter, man. She looking at her children. I can't stand. I'm tired of having to do Moesha's hair. I'm sick of this shit. I'm about to just perm it. Her shit's too goddamn nappy. I ain't got time for this shit. That's our women, man. Go ahead.
True. Upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil toward her husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter, and toward the young one that cometh out from between her feet.
Baby be crying, the baby hungry. Cállate, puto! Silencio! You know, our women just crazy, man. They don't even have that mercy and delicateness that they used to have, man. Just totally aggressive, man. That masculine energy. The woman's supposed to be masculine when it comes to faith alone, because faith is a masculine thing. But they're supposed to be feminine in nature in their doings in their day-to-day life as women. The only masculine spirit a woman should have is in faith. That's it. Go ahead.
And toward her young one that cometh from between her feet, and toward her children, which she shall bear, for she shall eat them for want, and of all things secretly, in the siege and straitness, wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee in thy gates.
Proverbs 11:6. So even when you go back to the Roman invasion, going back to 64, roughly to 67 AD, when we got ramshacked, man, it was so bad to where some of our women, they were eating their children because of the famine, okay? And having no mercy and saying, you know what, if my child is in danger, I'm gonna be in danger with my child. If my child don't eat, I don't eat. No, they're thinking, you know what, I'm just gonna eat my child because I'm not going hungry. To hell with the child's hunger, because I'm sure the child's hungry. But you know what, I'm gonna just eat the child. All right? Go ahead,
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 11, verse 6. The righteousness of the upright shall deliver them, but the transgressor shall be taken in their own naughtiness.
Keep going.
When a wicked man dieth, his expectation shall perish, and the hope of unjust men perisheth. The righteous is delivered out of trouble, and the wicked cometh in his stead. Understand? Slack.
Keep going.
And a hypocrite with his mouth destroyeth his neighbor, but through knowledge shall the just be delivered.
So through knowledge shall the just be delivered. And we're not receiving that knowledge from our mothers, man. Your mother was the same one who taught you how to worship a woman even if she ain't shit, man. A woman will teach you how to be so overly emotional to hold a door open for a no good slut who don't have no honor or respect for nature, her own self, for you, but you're supposed to run in front of her. Hold on, let me get that for you. And then hold the door open, and then when she walk in, she don't even say thank you.
That's
Okay.
how you know it is a curse. that is the exact reason how you know that it is a curse. Because nothing else in nature which the Most High created has to conform to that bullshit.
That's right, man. That's
No,
right.
and you don't see no male lion who's the head of the pride, who is the symbol of Judah.
Yeah.
You don't see him, hey, I'm going to go out and get food for everybody and I'm going to eat last. That's not how it works.
Yeah, that's true.
How it works is the female lions go and hunt the food and bring it back to the man that is the leader of the pride, the male lion.
That's true.
That's how it's supposed
That's
to
true.
But yeah,
Let's touch on, and you're right, you in the spirit. Proverbs 17 and 6. Let's jump ahead.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 17, verse 6. Children's children are the crown of old men, and the glory of children are their fathers.
But this world will say the glory of children are their mothers. Thanks to your mom, this and that. It's all because of your dear mom. Even Tupac, dear mama, you was a black mama. You know, talking about you was a crack fiend and everything. Although you was smoking crack and all this other nonsense, you was still a black queen. And then when you go into the etymology of the word queen, when you go into Quean, it just means a whore. And that's the spirit that is upon our women. Okay? Tupac's mother, they try to say, well, because she was down with the Black Panthers and blah, blah, she stood for something. The only thing a woman needs to be standing for is behind her husband. She's not supposed to be on the front line. She ain't supposed to be carrying herself like she a frontline soldier, man. Okay, but see, that's our women. They're supposed to teach you to stand up, how to be confident, how to have moral integrity, how you're not supposed to put anything before the Most High, not even your own beautiful wife, who you know, spent so much time trying to get her, then you finally get her. And that feeling of finally achieving this beautiful woman, not even that is supposed to come before this truth. Not even your own brother, who you've known in the world, y'all went through so much, and because you have this history and he's trying to draw you back in the world, even they can't get in the way. You know, these women, they don't have that foundation to make you strong and believe in something, because they don't really believe in nothing. Their minds are fickle. The foundation of a child comes from the father. The father is what instills you with, you know, the things you're going to go through in life, how to handle it. Suck it up, son. And it might not always feel good about what the father may do compared to the mother, but in some cases, the mothers are more masculine than the father. The mother will chew out the son, chew out the daughter, and the father just sitting on the couch like, I told you don't make your mama mad now. And you just sitting there like, damn, Dad, you ain't gonna say nothing? You ain't got nothing to say about this?
That shows the wickedness of a woman.
Yep.
You will really want, not just that, if you will really want your son, who comes from you, to have to deal with the same bullshit that you supposedly putting his father through, with that diminutive spirit that put down that, oh, let her rule over me shit, and he's of you, that shows that's just a wicked demon spirit, which goes back to, once again, that proves it is a curse.
That's right, bro.
Again.
You need this hand warmer?
No, I got it.
Is it still working?
Yep.
All right.
I charged it. It stopped vibrating. I was so happy. I was
Okay.
like, shit, how do I turn this off? But now,
Good, that's the spirit.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 17, verse 6. Children's children are the crown of old men, and the glory of the children are their fathers.
And most of our people, they don't really consider their fathers. They consider their mothers first. It's all about what mom says. Okay? And then, if the father's not around, you already know off top, man, father ain't got no credit coming to him. He ain't got no respect. The only thing that they've heard is what he did wrong and why the mother is not with the father. It was never her fault about anything. So he's just looked at as, he just never tried. He never wanted to really go out of his way and show that he cared about me. So then you grow up all bitter and you all messed up and emotional because you didn't have a foundation growing up in your household, man. You didn't have a stern man to tell you, hey, you're gonna push through. You're gonna go through tough times. You don't gotta handle everything with aggression and fighting. Everything doesn't have to be fighting and rah-rah every time. That's not how you answer all your problems, okay? Because even a snake doesn't attack right away. Okay, a snake or a serpent might sit there and stand for a while and wait for the time to strike.
Wisdom.
Okay, go ahead,
Children's children are the crown of old men, and the glory of children are their fathers.
Sirach in the Apocrypha, chapter 3 and verse 9. Also known as Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiasticus.
3 and 9. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 3, verse 9. For the blessing of the father establishes the house of children, but the curse of the mother rooted out foundations.
So now here it is, Kajani locked up, didn't even make it to C-19 because he was raised with his mother. Okay? And this is a thing that happens all throughout Israel. It's not just something that happens in the East Coast or the Midwest or the West. Throughout all Israel, you have these similar stories of the dads just nowhere to be found for some reason, regardless of why. And if he is around, his wife been giving him hell so much he's defeated, so he doesn't really tell you not to let no woman defeat you because he's defeated. He never really installed you with real wisdom. Okay? So even having your father around, for the most part, we can even say most of our opportunity of coming into this truth came from the Lord's mercy. Because if we were to depend on what we were taught by father or mother, we'd be lost, man. Yeah. We would not be out here. We'd be probably drug addicts. We might be doing whatever, man.
Adulterers.
A
drug dealer.
Serial adulterers. Serial adulterers, man.
And another thing I just wanted to touch on, because it's literally I've seen it happen. It's happened to me. It don't always have to be, but it usually is Israel. Let's say you got a homeboy, or a friend, a brother, whatever you what have you. But you got him. Then he has his lady. It could be before or after you in the street. He has his lady. He can get locked up. Don't matter for what the reason is. As soon as he gets locked up, she's chirping you like, hey, what are you doing? Or what's going on? Or how is this? Or how is that? Not having the concern that is your brother or your friend, she's more concerned of what I'm going to do now. But at the same time, she still knows that, hey, he's gone. I don't have no man. Even though I want to stand up on this rah-rah and be masculine, I still need to be around something.
Yeah.
Goes back to the fact that it's a curse.
It's a curse. And it also goes to something I call water and oil, man. You don't bring your woman around your homeboys. Yep. I don't care if it's your day one friend, and it's true, you feel like this man, he's about Yahweh Shai, he's following the laws to the best of his ability. You don't bring your woman around him.
Nope.
Period. Don't tempt your brother. Okay? Don't tempt your woman. Because Satan is in this world, man. We're in Babylon. Make it easier for yourself, man. When you're around your brothers, be around your brothers. And especially if your brothers ain't got no woman, you definitely better not have your woman coming around. Because, see, we don't know who Judas is. Judas is out here and about throughout, all, different camps, man. Some camps are clean. Other camps might have 1 or 2. Other camps might have 3 or 4. Okay, but we know not all brothers have the same mentality of morality and integrity. So don't set yourself up for failure and think, well, this is my brother. Let me introduce you to my wife. Who gives a fuck about him knowing your wife, man? Hell, he don't even need to know your wife.
Really, he don't need to know where the fuck you stay.
Exactly. He's not really. Especially if you stay with your wife. He don't need to know where you stay. But even if he knows where you stay, if your wife is there, she needs to be in a whole different location when y'all are congregating. If y'all are fellowshipping, she needs to be upstairs, downstairs, at her parents' house, somewhere else, man. She don't need to be sitting in the same room across. Yeah, just staring at what y'all talking about and observing. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Al.
For the blessing of the father establisheth the house of children, but the curse of the mother rooted out foundations.
And that is a curse, man. So don't be coming to us talking about, she's a strong single mother. Ain't no strong single mother, because that's a curse, man. She's going to root out the goddamn foundation. And you know that child is going to grow up bugged out. Okay? Now let's touch on Job 14:1. That's what you're seeing now with all these rappers, man. Most of these rappers that you see, They might have some dope beats or whatever. They might be able to present their lyrics in a way that's cool. But when you observe them, you can tell, like, yeah, that nigga wasn't raised around no real man. That nigga was raised by his mother, or that nigga's dad was just a bitch nigga. Go ahead.
This is the book of Job, chapter 14, verse 1. Man that is born of a woman is of a few days and full of trouble.
And we're all born of a woman, right? So we're born into this world cursed. But even more so, a man who's just raised by his mother. The mother is the one bringing the dominance in the household. He gonna grow up full of trouble. He gonna end up in prison. He gonna end up with a murder charge. He gonna end up committing robberies and thefts. He gonna end up hating authority. You can't tell him shit. Something as small as a police officer pulling him over because he ran a red light. He throwing an attitude like he didn't run the red light.
I don't got to get out the car.
Yeah,
I don't got to give you my ID.
Yeah. Because why? Well, the mother was the same way at home. He might want to go to mom and talk to his mom, and mom putting him off. I ain't got time for this shit right now. I'm on the phone, boy. Leave me alone right now. You know what I'm saying? He thinking, damn, I want to come and talk to you about, you know, something I was going through, and here you are, you shutting me away. Why? Because these women, they ain't with us right now. Even our own mothers that we love, they've never really been with us, man. But we still love our mothers regardless. Honor our parents regardless. Go ahead.
Man that is born of a woman is born. Man that is born of a woman is of few days and full of trouble.
In a few days, because he might die early. Here it is, he in the grave. He didn't even live to see 25, didn't live to see 30, didn't live to see 40, or whatever the case. Because he out here causing trouble. And you know, with a lot of Jake, they're quick to say what they're gonna do to somebody else, but they don't always observe, well, what if it doesn't play out how I see it? What if that happens to me?
True.
Because, you know, when you get rah, I'm gonna whoop this dude ass, I'm gonna do this and do that. But how do you know he ain't thinking the same thing about you and he might actually overcome you? Because you just full of wrath, man. You don't have that thought in your mind to just think. You know, Jake is just instantly like, man, fuck it, I ain't got time, let's just square it out. You know, so let's just shoot. Next thing you know, some months go by, that same person dead, man. Go ahead.
Man that is born of a woman is of few days and full of trouble.
Let's touch on Ezekiel 46 and 16. 16 and 46, I'm sorry.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 14, chapter 16, verse 46. And thine elder sister, you said 1646, right?
I believe so, yeah.
And thine elder sister is Samaria, she and her daughters that dwell at thy left hand, and thy younger sister that dwelleth at thy right hand is Sodom and her daughters.
I'll try 44.
Verse 44. Behold, everyone that uses proverbs,
Yeah, that's it.
everyone that uses proverbs shall use this proverb against thee, saying, as is the mother, so is the daughter.
So a lot of these young females acting like hoes, man. And you can go back to the mother again. As this thing goes, man, you know, it's the old saying, father like son, okay, mother like daughter, daughter like mother, whatever the case may be. The daughter's not going to be too far off from her mother. So just advice to you brothers, man, if you were a female and you have heard about her mom being a jump off, that doesn't necessarily mean she's a jump off, but that's the same woman that raised her. So she probably instilled in her some of that wicked wisdom on how to just, you know, if you get with a man and if he don't want to act right, just get over him. Go to the next one. Don't waste your time. But here it is, this man is putting his whole heart into this woman because he wasn't instilled by a man, hey, don't let these women rule you. Don't let these women dominate you because you're the prize. You're the one that's special. Don't let her feel like she's the only one that can love you like that. Don't let her make you feel like if you wasn't with her, you'll never have something that felt so, you know, platonic ever again. Okay, you got to have that confidence because you're not going to get that from your mom. She's not going to tell you as her son, son, you're special. These females don't deserve you. Don't put up with none of that shit. You got to watch their games. They play all sorts of... They're not going to give you that stuff, man. Okay, because they were the same ones doing that. Okay, go ahead.
Behold, everyone that useth proverbs shall use this proverb against thee, saying, as is the mother, so is her daughter.
Now you have mothers even at competition with their daughters, man. You even have mothers who have been taught by their daughter's boyfriends or husbands, really.
True.
You know, all because they're looking at their daughter and they're looking at her beauty and she's mad it's not her no more. I don't look good no more. I'm not in my prime no more.
Look what you did to me.
Yeah, exactly. All because I had your ass. Now look at me. You know, see these women, the loco ese. Go ahead.
Behold, everyone that useth proverbs shall use this proverb against thee, saying, as is the mother, so is their daughter.
Let's touch on the law in Leviticus 19 and 29. So you mothers cause your daughters to be whores, and now they're pregnant, and they're not even with the man that they're pregnant by. Well, here they are, they're 13, 14 years old, but they got a freaking man who's 25, 26, circling the block looking for her because he done got his ride blew by her. And you looking at your daughter like, that's my precious princess, because you don't understand she's already seeing your actions. All the stuff that you instilling in her, you causing her to be a whore. But then you still looking at her like she's precious, like she's innocent, like, oh, she could never be such a way. Go ahead, Alex.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19. You said 29?
Yeah.
Verse 29. Do not prostitute thy daughter to cause her to be a whore, lest the land fall to whoredom and the land become full of wickedness.
And that's what's happening now. This land is full of whoredom, man. It's full of hoes. Because these women promote their daughters to be hoes. A woman be wearing some tight-ass leggings and the mother be looking at her like, ooh, I like those. Where'd you get those? I need to get me some of those. So really, she's prostituting her daughter instead of trying to give her daughter the game and the advice like, honey, you know these men, they're gonna want you for sex. So if you want a real man to actually like you for you, cover up. Other words, the attention that you're getting, it's not even real attention, because you can be ugly or pretty. If you got something that a man like, he gonna check you out. You can have the worst personality in the world, and a man gonna check you out because why? You trying to be sexy. Keyword sexy, which means you want a man to have sex with you. You're not trying to look beautiful or gorgeous. You're trying to look sexy, which means you're trying to show the breast meat. You're trying to show that booty meat. You're trying to show them thyroids, and I ain't talking about the one in your neck. All right? Go ahead.
Do not prostitute thy daughter to cause her to be a whore, lest the land fall to whoredom and the land become full of wickedness.
Revelations 20 and 14. So that's why us men in this truth, you can't get all caught up in these women. They were raised a certain way. They weren't raised to serve you. They weren't raised, to treat you how a real man should be treated, man. Okay? They're going to treat you how the westernized way of life, the westernized way of living has taught them. Okay? You are not going to be their first desire in a lot of cases. And if you find a woman and she submits to you, she's down for you, good. But guess what? Most men are not going to find it. Go ahead.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 20, verse 14. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire.
I'm sorry, it was 22:14.
22:14.
Yeah, that was 20 and 14, huh?
Yep. Slaki, y'all. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 22, verse 14. Blessed are they that do his commandments.
And it was a commandment not to prostitute your daughter. Even as a man, you don't let your daughter wear some whorish attire and think it's all good. You looking at her like it's not a big deal. That's just how people dress today, man. Okay, you prostituting your daughter because you know how a man thinks. You think a man gonna give a damn about her being 15 or 13? There's men that don't give a damn. And in the Bible, when you look at Mary and Joseph, she was about 12 years old. When a woman develops a period, that means she can get pregnant. Typically, she's a woman. But you're raising your daughter to think she's not an adult till she's 18 or 21. So by the time she's a so-called adult in your eyes, she done went through multiple men. Really, multiple men went through her, I should say. Okay? Because you're not raising up your child the way that a man should be raising up his child, and you women, you're not raising up your children the way you should be raising up your children. Okay?
And I know you don't let that fly. We both have daughters. My daughter knows how, girl, you don't show nothing, you don't do nothing. And the fact that I put that in her, I don't have to debate it. And that's just, well, thanks to the Most High. But yeah, I don't have to debate it. You're going to do as I say.
My teachers get inspired by the way my daughter dresses because she don't show her ass. She wears like little dresses and shit. But like she wears like dresses that blend in with the world. She ain't wearing a dress walking around like a Jehovah's Witness or nothing like that. But she wears dresses to where it still shows she's a female, but it's still like swagged out to the point of like when people look at her, it make women even feel like, dang, I wish I could have that outfit. Because a lot of women, they don't realize how pretty a dress can look. They just looking at what the world will say on how a dress is. Oh, that's played out, or you must be going to somewhere that's special. A woman wearing a dress today, she has to be at some special event. Instead of it being, that's what you're supposed to wear.
You're not supposed to wear pants, and I'm speaking on that. Now, I'm gonna be true, honest about it. I don't like her to wear too many. Now, she does wear a dress, but if my daughter wears a dress, she has on leggings or something to cover. Because I don't trust no little boys. And if something happens, I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna go any further than that. But that's why she does that.
Also,
she's conservative.
but also, you gotta, as men, we gotta talk to our daughters early about these boys. Because if you wait until middle school, high school to talk to them about what you call the birds and the bees, these little boys ain't gonna hold off because you, as a parent's holding off. They gonna come third grade, be ready to grope some booty cheeks, man. And here it is, you got a man's daughter, she getting groped by a younger boy, but the parents is thinking, oh, well, we gotta wait till middle school, she's in 7th grade, before we explain to her how things, but you gotta tell your children early how things are out here, man. You gotta let them know early what's going on. Don't leave your children in ignorance, okay? Go ahead, Al.
Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have the right to the tree of life and may enter through the straight gates into the city.
That's immortality through Yahweh Shai. Go ahead.
For without are dogs and sorcerers and whoremongers.
So if you don't keep these laws, okay, if you're not trying to serve Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, you're a dog. And we just read in the law in Leviticus 19, okay, that you're not supposed to prostitute your daughter. And you women are breaking that law up and down, left and right, every angle that you can go.
True.
Okay? And you accept it. You're okay with it. And then when she ends up pregnant, you even give her the benefit of still being able to go out to the club and live this nonsense lifestyle while you watch the kids at home. So you're enabling her to be a whore even more. Instead of accepting responsibility, you lay down with that man, whether he's here or not, you take care of that child. That's your child. Now, if you need help, I'll help, but I'm not going to raise the child. I'll help you raise it on the side, but I'm not going to be the primary person raising this child. But you have parents, they'll literally damn near just take over the child's life in terms of what the mother should be doing. You got the grandparents being the parents, while the mother's out here having ladies' night every goddamn Thursday and Friday.
Yep.
Talking about how, oh yeah, he's cute and da-da-da, but so-and-so got a bigger rod. But his attitude, I don't like his, just having all sorts of wicked, evil conversations, man. And their daughter is just at home being raised up by another piece of shit woman. Okay? And the cycle just goes on, man. Go ahead.
Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they might have the right to the tree of life and may enter into the straight gates into the city. For without are dogs and sorcerers and whoremongers.
Yeah, so you're involved in sorcery. If you oppose the will of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, you're actually a witch. It was even told to Saul that rebellion is as witchcraft. So when you rebel against the Most High, you're a literal witch.
You should be condemned.
And you should be condemned. Now, as we're saying this about these women, of course, brothers have mothers. Some brothers even have mothers that went to the spirit world. We don't curse our mothers in the sense of putting death and evil on. Hit Deuteronomy 5 and 16. We don't put curses on them and stuff like that. But we are going to tell it how it is. Our women need to get their shit together, man. because the Lord ain't playing games. The Lord is sick and tired of this, man. But we still honor our mothers, man. Go ahead.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 5, verse 16. Honor thy father and thy mother, as the Lord thy God hath commanded thee, that thy days may be prolonged, and that it may go well with thee in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee.
So, once again, if you don't keep the laws, you're a dog. So as we come out here and we condemn wicked women, that don't mean, as a brother in this truth, let's say you came into the truth last month, and all of a sudden you thinking like, oh yeah, it sounds like my mom, and you go to your mom, fuck you mom, you fucking bitch, you're a whore, you know what I'm saying? How you gonna do that to dad? You made me think all this time that it was all dad. Now that I think about it, it was all you too. I hate you.
Wow.
Most High gonna smite you.
That's what I was about to say. That nigga needs to stay away from us. There was brother doing that he came.
Hey, there are some brothers in this walk who have probably done some disrespectful things to their parents that's out of pocket, man. Because see, we're in a society, we've been raised up a certain way. So even when you think of something that even may seem imaginary, it can very well be happening. Because here in 2020, man, this is an evil time, and brothers coming into this truth, we're coming out the world. So you are still shaking off whatever old impressions that you used to have, that, oh man, you're shaking it off coming into this truth. So you have brothers who may have been disrespectful to their parents. And then you come into this truth, you repent from that. You don't do that no more. You don't be a fuck you mom, fucking, Yahweh Shah, he was a real man. He spoke to his mom rough. So I'm gonna abuse it and just say, fuck you mom, you fucking bitch. I'm gonna answer to you. That's not what we doing out here, man.
At all.
For real. Break that down one more time, man. And it also said father, which means if you don't know your father, or your father pissed you off, or he made you feel little because every time you talk to him, he just seems like he don't care about you, you still honor that man. Go ahead.
Honor thy father and thy mother, as the Lord thy God hath commanded thee, that thy days may be prolonged, and that it may go well with thee in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee.
So, hearing that, man, you gotta love your parents. You gotta honor them. But when you look at our people, a lot of our men are mama's boys. And that actually is in our spirit, because that goes back to our forefather Jacob. He was actually considered as what the world will call today a mama's boy. In fact, let's touch that. Genesis 25, and start at 27.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison. But Rebekah loved Jacob, and Jacob sought pottage, and Esau...
Jacob was a mama's boy. So, Esau, he'd be the type, he might go hunt and do things with pops. But Jacob was more to, laid back. I'm chilling at home. You know what I'm saying? I'm more just mellow. While Esau out in the sun, probably sweating, working, hunting animals and shit with Isaac. So Jacob was more close to his mother. And Jake like that today is pretty common, to where Jake would have more connection or compassion for his mother than he would his father. But at the same time, that same attitude can be destructive, because it's the father that really, sets the foundation of a house. It's the father that sets the foundation of your nationality and the line that you come from. And seeing that reincarnations in the scriptures, you've always come from different women that may have not come from the same line, but from your dad, you always come back in that line. But you'll have different mothers every time you come back. So not saying women aren't important, but at the same time, even though Jacob was more as a mama's boy, that doesn't take away the father sets the foundation, okay, which would have been Isaac, okay, but Isaac was more close with Esau, because Esau was more prone to do things that Isaac was into doing, okay, and you see that today. A son might be into playing video games or something. And the dad's like, man, I don't like that. So he done turned his daughter out to be a tomboy. She out here working on the car with him, you know? So what happened was he's favoring his daughter more than his son because the daughter's more prone to do what he's interested in, while the son's a little more laid back. Not saying he didn't love his son, but he was just more close with his daughter because of, you know, the things they had in common. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. You know, I know.
Go ahead, Art.
And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field. And Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison. But Rebekah loved Jacob.
1 Corinthians 13 and 11. So, you know, that mama's boy spirit, you know, that's common within, you know, us being Israelites. But you got to acknowledge your father, man. You got to honor your father. Being close to your mother it's not a sin. There's nothing wrong with being close to your mother. But your mother shouldn't be a person held up so high to where you feel like she can't do nothing wrong. And when we bring out lessons going into the woman, the first thing that crosses your mind is, oh, well, he might be talking about my mom. Nah, fuck that. I disagree with that. Because I love my mom, you know?
You say 13 or 14 or 11?
13.
Thought so. This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 13, verse 11. When I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things.
And the childish thing is that mama's boy spirit, man. When you get older, you got to shake that off. You still love your mom. If your mom needs you, you go help your mom, man. You know, if your mom says, you know, this trash is too heavy, could you take it out for me? You don't be like, I don't got to do nothing, Mom. I'm the man. No, you help your mom, man. Take the damn trash out. You know? You don't, just because the Lord gave us the ability to have, you know, dominance in the spirit, you still got to exercise humility, especially when it comes to your parents. But that doesn't mean your parents have the power over you to make falling out intriguing, or you got to go to your mom for an opinion on how you should treat your woman, or you go to your dad on an opinion on what should I say to my woman because she do. Man, no, you handle that. Okay? Go ahead, Art.
When I was a child, I spake as a child.
And that really goes into when you were in the world, you wasn't speaking this knowledge. Okay? Part of being in the world is having that mama boy attitude. Being under your mama's breast, and here you are, you in your 20s, you still talking about my mama like Forrest Gump. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. When I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things.
Now let's see what Job said, man. He pretty much went into like, man, pretty much grow some balls, man. Touch on Job 38:3.
This is the book of Job, chapter 38, verse 3. Gird up now thy loins like a man.
Grow some balls, man. Grip your balls, man, spiritually. Have some cojones. Have some testicular fortitude.
Hey.
You know? Because as much as you love your mom, don't let your mom make you weak, man. Your mom giving you bad advice when really she shouldn't even be giving you advice when it comes to your house. But let's say your mama giving you advice for whatever reason. You thinking, well, mama, that's my mom. I guess she probably right. No, man. You got to be a damn man. Not even a damn man. You got to be a man, because damn just means condemned. You don't want to be a condemned man. You want to be a real man, though. And that's through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Okay, go ahead.
Gird up now thy loins like a man, for I will demand of thee an answer thou me.
We'll bring on a couple more. Let's hit on Colossians chapter 3, verse 10.
This is the book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 10. And have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge after the image of him that created him.
And who created us, man? Yahweh Shai. Yahweh created us through Yahweh Shai. Now, how was Yahweh Shai with his mother? He was very austere with his mom, man. Okay? When his mother asked him to make some wine for this gathering, Yahweh Shai, he pretty much said, woman, it's not my time. As in saying, look, here it is, you want me to perform this miracle. I don't got to do a damn thing. Okay? I don't got to do that. I'm not going to do that. All right? Go ahead.
And have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge, after the image of him that created him.
You might even have your mom say to you, I miss my son. What happened to you? You've changed. I miss when you used to, hug me. I used to call you Yogi Bear. And now, you just seem different. What happened? Well, that's that new man. Your mom's going to notice that change if you were once a mama's boy, and then now you're just more manly. You're more masculine. You're more... We're not self-dependent. We depend on the Lord. But you're not calling her every 2 weeks. Hey, Mom, you got $20? Hey, Mom, is it okay if I come by? I'm hungry. You got something to eat? Man, come on, man. You got to be a man, okay? Your mama should be calling you if she needed something. Go ahead.
And have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge, and after the image of him that created him.
And who created us? Yahweh Shai. We're being renewed every single day. We're changing. We're in the same bodies, but people will notice that you're different. I've had people tell me, like, man, you are totally you're just different. Man, when I saw you last time, man, just something about you it was totally different, man. Because that's the spirit of the Heavenly Father working through us, man. Through his son. Using his son, Yahweh Shai, man. The firstborn of all Israel. Okay? Go ahead, one more time.
And have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge, after the image of him that created him.
Sirach in the Apocrypha, 37 and 11.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 37, verse 11. Neither consult with a woman touching her of whom she is jealous, neither with a coward in matters of war, nor with a merchant, concerning exchange, nor with a buyer, nor with a buyer of selling, nor with an envious man of thankfulness, nor with an unmerciful man touching kindness, nor with the slothful for any work, nor with an hireling for a year of finishing, nor with a servant of much busyness, hearken not unto their in any matter of counsel.
So the point was at the beginning. Read the beginning part again, and I'll cut you off when I find it.
Neither consult with a woman touching her of whom she is jealous.
Now, of course, in this thing, we talk about the multiple wives and all that, and we understand that women get jealous. But we're not going to touch on that part. Go ahead, we're going to go to the next part.
Neither with a coward in matters of war.
So don't, a coward, that cowardly spirit, that's a very feminine / effeminate spirit. Because feminine, that's females. Effeminate, that's malish. That's femalish characteristics, by a male. So there's a difference. A female is not effeminate, she's feminine. Okay? So when you're discussing matters with the coward, a lot of these women, being the weaker vessels, if they were put under pressure, they're going to break a lot more easier than you are, man. But then you have men trying to discuss matters with their woman. Like, I was just watching a video. Brother was saying I shouldn't be celebrating holidays. How you feel about that, baby? You think we should wait till next year before we stop?
What the fuck?
Or really consulting with a woman?
Nigga, it is your house. You tell her what we gonna do.
That's right. But this is the world that we live in, where the man has been conquered, his balls have been chopped off, and you have to bring these things out, because this truth actually gives you those balls back. Because this world really thrives on making the Israelite man a weakling, a coward, very emotional, very dependent on a female. Okay? And then he'll consult things with this woman instead of taking that leader role, he want to consult with this woman. Hey, babe, is it okay if we don't celebrate holidays this year? And she's like, why not? Never mind. Just forget I brought it up. Coward.
Most solid, bitch ass.
Yeah, you know, became a coward in front of a coward. Because these women, they fold under pressure. But you go into your woman all nervous and shit, like, I don't know how to say this to her, but I got to consult this with her, man. You ain't supposed to be doing no shit like that. Just like a man, if he's scared of serving Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai, you don't go consulting with him about matters of this business, man. He a coward. That's a waste of time, man. Read that again, huh? We'll bring out one more.
Neither consult with a woman touching her of whom she is jealous, neither with a coward in matters of war.
Now let's touch on John 2 and we'll read it through 5. John 2 and 1 through 5. We're done. We'll wrap it up.
This is the book of John, chapter 2, verse 1. And the third day there was a marriage in Cana of Galilee. And the mother of Hamashiach Yahushai was there. And both Hamashiach Yahushai was called and his disciples to the marriage. And when they wanted wine, the mother of Hamashiach Yahushai said unto him, they have no wine. Hamashiach Yahushai said unto her, woman, that I have to do with thee.
Hold on, he didn't say, dear mama, what I got to do with thee? He said, woman. This is how Yahushua spoke to his mom. His dear mom, man. Does that mean he didn't love his mom? Did he disrespect her? No, but he spoke as a man.
What does that got to do with me?
What does that got to do with me? And a lot of you men in this world, it's like when your mom speaks to you, it's like you just melt. It's like you got something to say, but when mama starts talking, it's like your balls just shrivel up. Like, yep, mama's right, damn it. Mama's right again, shit. You gotta have some balls, man. Because Yahushua could have been like, well, mama brought up the wine. Man, whatever. Gotta please mom. Make mama happy. That's not the spirit that we come in, man. Okay? Go ahead,
Hamashiach Yahushua said unto her, woman, what have I to do with thee? Mine hour is not yet come. His mother said unto the servants, whatsoever he said, whatsoever he said unto you, do it.
Why?
That's
because she knew, hey man, my son's serious.
Yeah, now that's a mother.
Whatever he says,
you better do it.
Just do it because he's serious. Because she knew that her son was an austere man. He wasn't no mama begging son. He was a man. He was an austere man. So when she went back, she had to give the message like, hey man, look, whatever he says, just do it. Don't piss him off. You know what I'm saying? Because Yahushua wasn't in that mama's boy spirit. The woman has done a good job destroying our nation, along with Esau, and a lot of them don't want to take responsibility. And yes, it's because of our sin. We got to take responsibility as men, and that's why we're out here. That's why we're teaching. That's why we're presenting ourselves as living sacrifices, which shows what? We're showing that we're taking responsibility. While you women, a lot of you are on the sideline bickering.
Did they really just walk around the block to avoid?
They probably did. Hey, that's on them, you know?
Man, we're getting off topic. Let's get...
It's not for them. It's all right. Yeah, so, you know, you women, you're going to realize that the Lord's dealing with real men. Matter of fact, I'm going to close it out Proverbs 84. He's dealing with real men. 84? And you're angry. You're angry that he gave us that position. Part of being a man is having authority. And the Lord's given us that authority back. And it starts with this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. He's not calling on you women to take lead. You've done enough destruction. Sit your ass down, humbly, and just listen to the words of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, and hope to be delivered. So you can have an everlasting life, have a joyous lifestyle, have everything you can ever imagine. Okay? Go ahead.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 8, verse 4. Unto you, O men, I call, and my voice is the sons of men.
My voice is to the daughters of women. His voice is to the sons of men. And as I always like to state, he sent Yahweh Shai, who was a man, to die for the nation of Israel. He didn't create a daughter to die for the nation of Israel. He didn't raise up 12 disciples to be 12 females. They were all men. He didn't raise up female prophets to go out and condemn. They were all men for a reason. The Heavenly Father himself is a man, but for some reason, he's going to create a world where you're supposed to bow down to the woman when he himself doesn't even have a woman to bow down to. That don't even make sense, okay? He gave us the authority. We present it, and regardless of how our mothers, our fathers may think, it doesn't change the truth. The truth is, our women got to stop being hoes. Our men got to stop being so damn effeminate, so damn just off-centered when it comes to their intelligence. They're off, man. Like, our people don't even realize what's happening right now. We're in the midst of a damn pandemic, and our people are on the sideline just waiting for things to bounce back.
Not gonna happen.
And it's not gonna happen, man. You got mothers mad because they gotta homeschool their children. What kind of shit is that? You should be happy that your child is not in the midst of a bunch of wicked children teaching them a bunch of wicked shit.
That is your job.
That's your job. And that's a job you should be grateful for. Because there's women, they can't even have children, who would love to have a child and to be able to say, you know what, yeah, I'm gonna spend that quality time with this child, while you have another woman who can have children who don't even care to put the time in for their children. Okay? But anyway, so, you know, we're going to close it out right there. You men need to man up. You women need to close your legs up. Repent to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. All praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Ba'ashem Wa Rakakodash. Till next time, Shalom.